This School of Hard Knocks fight is an amateur bout in the 160-pound weight class. It's sponsored by DME Loyalty and Service and our official cage tutors for Hard Knocks Fighting 15. And now, let's meet the fighters. He is fighting out of Calgary, Alberta. This is Lacasse.
Adam Lacasse making his way to the cage. He's been training for 2 years in Calgary with dynamic mixed martial arts, and anybody that knows anything about the Hard Knocks fighting scene knows that the boys from Dynamic always come to fight and always come well prepared. He says he'll do whatever it takes to win and is looking to improve his amateur record.
Very calm fighter. I feel some days just relaxed, excited to get in there. Help with my listening.
And you can see he clearly visits the barber of Matt, the Don't Call Me Kid Franco, as his definite design there over the top of his skull. But again, he says he uses MMA to mentally and physically challenge himself. He comes in at 155, giving up a bit of a weight advantage to his opponent, who's coming in at 161, but took his fight at 155. When his opponent came in 6 pounds heavy, he decided to continue the fight, to allow the fight, and to go through with it. So giving up a bit of a weight advantage is Adam Lacasse, but heading into the cage. He's 23 years old, 6 feet tall, out of Dynamic Mixed Martial Arts in Calgary.
And also fighting out of Calgary, this is Macdonald.
Scott Macdonald comes into the cage out of Calgary, fighting with the Knuckles gym. He's been there for 4 years. Said he's looking for a second-round knockout today.
Yeah, Scott Macdonald came in 6 pounds overweight. I hope he makes up for that by going on a hell of a fight today.
Now, he said that he likes to go to the ground, but hasn't found an opponent willing to go to the ground with him.
Yeah, well, at Max Marin's club there, Knuckles, that's his coach standing next to him. He is a legitimate grounder. He's 135, and that guy will tie you up like pretzels. It doesn't matter how big you are. He's a very, very skilled coach, and anybody who comes out of his camp comes ready to fight.
Scott Macdonald, who won a decision in his last fight, says that he's looking to take his career one fight at a time, which is a bit of a sports cliche, the old one fight at a time, one game at a time, but in a fight game like this, of course, never a bad idea to take your career as it comes. We'll do some final instructions from referee Elvis Lyon as our lovely ringers make their way around the cage.
And now, for the official fighter introductions. In the fitness exception blue corner, he's 23 years old and stands 6 feet even tall. He weighed in at 154.5 pounds. Fighting out of Dynamic MMA in Calgary, please welcome Hard Knocks fighter, Adam Lacasse! And in the Essentials Oil Field Services ring corner, at 30 years old, he stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighed in at 161 pounds. Fighting out of Pinnacle's MMA in Calgary, by whose hometown is Regina. Please welcome Hard Knocks fighter, Scott Macdonald! This bout will be contested under amateur rule, and the referee in charge of the Hard Knocks action is Elvis Lyon.
That's the way, Scotty.
You know the rules. I want a good hard fight. Keep it clean. Give it everything you got. If you're going to touch gloves, touch them now.
Adam Lacasse out of the blue corner in the Canada trunks. Black and white for Scott Macdonald as they get set for our second fight of the evening. Again, here, School of Hard Knocks 15 live from the Turvey Center in Regina, Saskatchewan.
Scott Macdonald has big, strong punches. He's beaten 2 of my teammates in the past. I mean, he walks through guys with punches, so watch for that.
Throws a big punch there, and Lacasse immediately tries to tie him up and gets him up against the cage. Macdonald working for the underhooks. A tried trip by Lacasse. He's in a bad spot now as he finds himself in a half guard underneath Macdonald. This did not start out the way that that Adam Lacasse had hoped.
Well, ask and you shall receive. Scott Macdonald has his ground game now. Let's see what he can do.
Watch the reversal, stay base. Cross face, Scotty. Get
At
that
the
nose.
moment, Lacasse doing a good job of holding him in with the guard, transitions to a full guard from the side, or from the half guard. Macdonald postures up, gets up, and looks to throw, but a little tying up of the legs, and that allows Macdonald to back off, Lacasse to get up, and we're back to square one.
That's okay. Hands drop, Scott. He's going to shoot after his hands drop.
Big kick there from Macdonald so far has landed the far more effective strikes to this point in round number 1.
Lacasse is looking extremely frustrated right now.
Throws the spinning back fist, but doesn't connect, but uses it as an in to tie up. Again up against the cage. Nice knee to the midsection there. Just about a knee to the head. Elvis Lyon stepping in, but does not stop the action at this point. Into a side control position there for Scott Macdonald. Easily passing the guard after tripping Lacasse. And it looks like he's going for the crucifix here. He's got both arms pinned, and he is dropping punches to the face of Lacasse, who's got to do something quickly and manages to get the arm free. Again, doing a very effective job in the guard of holding Macdonald's head down and not allowing him to posture up at all and get any kind of torque on those punches.
He's doing a very good job against Macdonald on the ground.
Gets him back into the full guard after starting in just moments ago being in the crucifix position. Has really worked his jiu-jitsu on the ground to take advantage of Macdonald, but now he's up against the cage. We'll see what Macdonald can do. Macdonald tried to throw punches from the top. Just 10 seconds remain in the first round. Trying to flip over and work a submission there. But no twisting leg locks are allowed under these rules. Almost ended that round in a guillotine with Adam Lacasse, but if I'm judging the scorecard, Jordan, I think at this point, Scott Macdonald's got to be up 10-9.
Yeah, he's landing on one of strikes right now. Takedowns as well. Lacasse really needs to start to focus here. Start landing
Big kick there from Macdonald so far has landed. Saw a big leg kick there on the replay with Scott Macdonald in round number 1 as he tried to get inside, but Adam Lacasse unable to land that spinning back fist, but again did use it to get him tight against the cage. So both fighters opting to take the stool, and we've talked about this on Hard Knocks before, about the psychology of taking the stool. Last time we spoke with Beamer Comfort on Hard Knocks 14, and he said he doesn't like his fighters to take the stool because it allows your muscles to cool down a little, allows a potential for cramping, which can be a problem.
Yeah, but if you stand up in the first round, you're too hurt in the second round to sit down, then your opponent's going to have a bit of a mental edge and he's going to know you're hurt.
Both fighters touching gloves as we get set for round number 2 here at Hard Knocks 15. Scott Macdonald in the black and white trunks, the Canada trunks for Adam Lacasse as he lands a leg kick early and again tries that spinning back fist, but eats a couple punches for his trouble. And watch the knees to the head, the warning in there from our referee Elvis Lyon as almost a second strike lands to the head.
Lacasse was kind of trying to brush it off there and let his opponent know he was sorry, but then he ate a strike. He needs to continue fighting even if he thinks he's needed his opponent in the head. Lacasse needs to start pressing the actions. Right now, Scott Macdonald's holding against the fence. Lacasse is not wanting any offense back.
Didn't check the leg kick in Lacasse, but he does have Macdonald up against the cage now. Macdonald trying to get in that second underhook. The knees into the legs allowed, of course, up against the cage. And does throw a knee to the midsection of Macdonald, who keeps coming forward, keeps pressing the action, but Lacasse able to get a few more effective strikes in this round. The leg kick comes in. Macdonald sprawls on the takedown. He's got him down and battered after eating a couple punches is Adam Lacasse. Macdonald trying to get free. Lacasse holding onto the wrist, but not for long as Macdonald manages to pop it free. And we'll see what he's able to do from this somewhat dominant position as he has almost Lacasse's back, but Lacasse able to transition that into a takedown. Very nice work there from Lacasse to get into now Macdonald's guard. His corner very happy. Triangle choke attempted here by Macdonald. If he can get the other leg over the shoulder, this could be trouble for Lacasse.
He's got him with the rubber guard right now. See if he can start to work that from the bottom. Lacasse is looking good now.
Nice transition there from the bottom, almost into a full mount, managing to land some strikes. Scott Macdonald.
Well, you're starting to see that weight advantage play its factor now. Scott is definitely the stronger of the two fighters right now.
But again, Lacasse doing a very effective job of holding Macdonald in his guard when Macdonald gets on top. He manages to get him to full guard. He holds him there in the guard, and you can see a little bit of blood coming from the nose of Lacasse. A little bit more going to be coming now as Macdonald lands another couple strikes to the face of his downed opponent. Macdonald looking for an opening, manages to get into side control. Again, grabbed onto the neck, holding the head down is what Adam Lacasse is managing to do now, and doing a very effective job of it, limiting the damage that Macdonald's able to do. Just 10 seconds left, and Macdonald's going to do all the damage he can do before the bell, and that is it. Adam Lacasse ends up on his back, mounted by his opponent, eating punches at the end of the second round. Not a good position to be in as you're looking towards the third and final round in a three-round fight. You can see on the replay here as Lacasse eating a couple, a little bit of damage down there, but doing a good job of holding Macdonald's head down. Again, very effective guard, a couple hammer fists. You gotta wonder about the nose of Lacasse because of even those slight hammer fists which don't have a lot behind them, enough to make Lacasse drop his guard momentarily and release Macdonald's head, which allowed him to posture up. I think if you're Adam Lacasse, you've got to come out thinking you've got to win this fight in the third round. Holding on won't be enough as you're likely down 2-0.
Lacasse really needs to let his hands go because he's not doing anything on the ground. He's got to keep Macdonald at the end of his punches. He can't let him come in and grapple with him because there's not enough time in this round.
So Scott Macdonald, ready for the second round, answers the bell quite readily, and again steps out of his corner a little prematurely for Mr. Lyons They now get together for the third and final round in this amateur bout between Scott Macdonald in the black and white trunks and Adam Lacasse in the Canadian tap-out trunks as they get set to finish this fight here at the Turvey Center.
Lacasse keeps shaking his head after Macdonald's landing punches. Oh, here's a guillotine.
He's got the guillotine choke locked in. It is an arm-in guillotine. He's got to get his body postured up if he wants it to work. He does let it go, and Macdonald has an opportunity to break out, but again, the arm-in guillotine is locked on. Macdonald manages to squeak clear and does end up in a half guard for Lacasse. Lacasse holding Macdonald's arm very tightly, nowhere to go for Macdonald on that side. However, he could be utilizing ground and pound. There we go to the side of Lacasse, force him to defend.
Lacasse needs to get up soon, or else this fight is completely on Macdonald's.
And again, a defenseless position here, throwing punches at Lacasse as he's got the arms trapped under. Macdonald continuing to advance his positive position and started working towards the full mount, has that full mount now. We'll see whether or not Lacasse can make anything out of the arm lock he's got on Macdonald, although I don't think he can torque it from that angle. Does manage to pull free, scrambling to get out now as Lacasse and manages to leave the mounted position, but still ends up in a bad spot with Macdonald on his back. Trying to drive through with the single leg, although that will be tough with 160 pounds on your back.
It's not the right idea, not this late in the fight. He needs to get to his feet and start slugging it out.
Macdonald now swings over, gets one hook in, there's the other hook. He's got Lacasse's back, and it should just be a matter of time at this point because Lacasse is in a bad spot, although letting the one hook go may be a mistake there from Scott Macdonald. Lacasse rolls over, he's in a guard, he's in Macdonald's guard, but on top and able to start doing damage is Adam Lacasse.
Wrist control. Scotty, wrist control.
Scott Macdonald potentially waiting out the rest of the 3 minutes, thinking he might be ahead on two judges' scorecards, tries to explode out but doesn't have it as Lacasse continues to stay in that guard. Macdonald ends up throwing him over and holding down Lacasse. Lacasse bucking like a bull at the stampede, trying to get out, but may have given up the choke. Scott Macdonald raining punches now down on Lacasse, and this fight may soon be over as Elvis Lyon, they're ready to stop the fight should it not get to a finish. There is your final bell. Scott Macdonald unable to put Adam Lacasse away. We'll go to the judges' scorecard after a very entertaining amateur fight. Judging by the looks on their faces, they've got it scored the same way we do, as the dynamic coach with a shrug and a maybe next time, and the Scott Macdonald's coach very excited, talking about it and telling him he put in some good work in that fight. You can see in the replay there, ending up in the full mount, raining punches, but unable to finish was Scott Macdonald. So we'll just wait for the math to be done in between rounds as Scott Macdonald and Adam Lacasse get their due recognition from the crowd.
You know, win or lose, both these fighters are going to walk away with a lot to look at, and that's one good thing about the amateur fighting system. It doesn't hurt your pro record, and you can go back to the drawing board and fix the mistakes you made in your amateur fights.
Well, you can see the final sweep here, the sweep attempts coming from Scott Macdonald, trying to power out of it, but Adam Lacasse doing a good job at that point of staying on top, but it was only a matter of time before Scott Macdonald ended up throwing out the one leg, exploding over, and ending up in a full mounted position. And you can see it here as he started to rain punches, and I mean, Adam Lacasse doing everything he can to get out of the the system there, but unable to do so. Macdonald tried to lock on the choke, was unable to do so, and ended up just throwing down punches onto the head of his opponent. The likely victor in this one will be Adam Lacasse, although the math is still being tabulated. Now it looks as though we have an official decision, and the official decision for that decision, we will go to the voice of the Hard Knocks Fighting Championship, one Mr. Doug Denance.
Hard Knocks fans, we have the official decision. But before I announce that, let me just check one thing with our fight fans in the house. Were you not entertained by that one? Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official decision from D&D Oilfield Service. The winner, by unanimous decision, in the red corner, Scott Macdonald!
So Scott Macdonald moves to 4-0, and he'll have or 3-0 rather, as an amateur, and he'll have a chat now with our Doug Denance.
Scott, you know, I watched you come in here, I saw you put on just a wee bit of weight. I wondered whether that would slow you down any. And I wondered when you got to the third round if you were feeling a little tired out there. It looked to me like you were in great shape for this one.
Yeah, I was, I felt pretty good out there. He's putting up a good fight, so you're getting tired regardless. He's a tough fighter, and I do gotta apologize because this is my third fight, my fourth weight cut, and every other time I made weight, I had a little stupid mistake. I adjusted 2 scales instead of checking out the competition scale.
But I'm glad to see you fighting it this way because you look that much more powerful. It's got to feel that way, huh, when you were throwing those punches?
Well, I think I can hit harder than most amateur guys in my weight. So, I mean, that's the big advantage. If I catch guys who usually want to grapple as soon as I hit them, so it tends to, it's good to have some grappling.
You know, I was thinking, you say you're a grappler who ends up in stand-up wars. This time you got to throw up the spread, do a few other things in this one, but also got to throw those heavy hands. It's got to feel like a pretty well-rounded fighter today.
Yeah, it was pretty good. My last one was pretty much straight stand-up fight. And this one, it's true MMA, it's a little bit of everything. It's a lot of fun.
And it was very entertaining. I gotta ask you this, you also played a little bit of rugby. That's a tough man's sport. That helped you get toughened up, or was it all MMA that you brought in here?
Well, I always kind of like the contact sport, so I mean, rugby certainly helps with fitness, and you can play it for a little while, keep all your limbs intact, and it's a good transition to get a little older, I guess.
You know, I gotta ask you this, because I know you fight out in Calgary, but it is a hometown crowd here in Regina. Did that help you any? Oh, first of all, let me just say, what do you guys think of a hometown fight here in South Dakota, huh? It's gotta feel good to have that crowd behind you that way. Even though you're fighting out in Calgary, your heart's still here in Regina, right?
Yeah, I still have lots of friends around now. Someone came up and supported me, and I really appreciate it. Certainly go old school like Regina, drink a few beer, but I'll try to stay out of the bar and fights tonight for sure.
No, I don't want to see you do that. I just want to see you head down there to the after party. And we want all here to come and join with this guy who comes from this town, from Regina, your winner, Mr. Scott Macdonald!
So Scott Macdonald gets a win in front of the hometown fans, moves to 3-0 in his amateur career in a different fashion than we've seen him before. And again, here's the big turnover throw coming up here for Scott Macdonald. Again, you can see a couple nice defenses of that as they show here on the replay, but a quick turnover and exploded into it, and that's how the fight ended up with, again, Scott Macdonald on top in the full mount and raining punches as he was. Now, one thing I noticed earlier, when Scott Macdonald had the back of his opponent, threw in the 2 hooks with his legs and then let one of the hooks go and ended up in a bad position. That's something I'm sure he'll be focusing on in the tape when he watches his fight.
Of course, you gotta fix all the mistakes you make. You know,
This is what my 6-year-old niece told me. That's a little cutie. She goes,
so all credit to him. Not only
"That's invisible and smells like bear." And picture a little girl
6 pounds, so it speaks a lot to his
Running
character that he survived that whole fight.
Yeah, a good decision win there for Scott Macdonald, and we'll be getting to our next fight here momentarily. momentarily. Again, the doctor needs to check on both fighters, make sure that they're okay. Of course, I'm Ryan Ballantyne, sitting next to Jordan Murray, who you saw at Hard Knocks 14, and will certainly see again in the Hard Knocks cage. Always nice to have the benefit of an actual fighter sitting next to me, as opposed to just being able to talk about fights, which is